Mandarin is one of the fastest growing languages, and the day may not be far off when you feel excited about a new upcoming Chinese movie or sitcom. In the third episode of What We Can Learn About China from Its Language, let's talk about this growth of Mandarin language. The Mandarin language is growing fast in Africa especially. And that is a big deal considering that China is already second in the number of cultural institutions in Africa, second only to France, a country which has colonial connections throughout history with Africa. China has absolutely no such connection. The first Confucius Institute in Africa was founded in 2005. So all of this growth that Chinese and Mandarin language specifically have seen is in 15 years. On a continent where native languages were wiped out by those of the colonizers, Mandarin might be a reminder of those forceful times. Among African countries, South Africa is debating the role that Mandarin plays as a foreign language in its classrooms. While on the other hand, Uganda has made Mandarin a compulsory language in a lot of its classrooms. The growth in Africa is not necessarily out of the flow of culture. While a lot of reports try to portray this as good opportunities for Africans, a lot of other reports also consider this growth a threat to African culture. Something that has been forced onto Africans because of the massive investments China has made in African countries. This being said, it's not like China has a lot of options. The Chinese government, for very obvious reasons, is not going to adopt any Indo-European language for major use. And specifically when it comes to Indo-European languages, English, China has anywhere from 10 million to 300 million speakers. Given the Chinese opacity on data, all of these numbers are very difficult to verify. But the numbers are low. Lastly, and I feel more importantly, the growth of the Mandarin language presents two risks. The first risk is for China. The growth in the language means a rise in the number of speakers being able to understand native Chinese. It will involve more scrutiny and global attention. And the Chinese system of politics has already made it clear that it does not want its own citizens scrutinizing the government's actions. And other countries doing the same thing, especially in the native language, will be hardly welcome. The second risk is for the world, of increased Chinese censorship. With Mandarin becoming more popular, the Chinese government might be more tempted to censor more data outside its borders. Now, this is something it is already doing, but it rising is something very Orwellian to imagine. Now, while I have argued that China itself might not have an option when it comes to promoting the Mandarin language, that in some cases it must do it, it should be worth exploring whether there is a more empathetic way to do it. So here's the thing. You have used Chinese manufactured goods for years now. Essentially, all or parts of the device that you are watching this on were probably manufactured in China. But your interaction has so far been limited to products. It seems inevitable that Chinese culture will come to the world. And when it comes to countries like India, the growth in Mandarin might not be through investment like it was in Africa. The sitcom Friends was among the leaders in American culture, American entertainment, gaining a strong foothold in India. Even in China, Friends served as an introduction to the American culture for a lot of Chinese people, especially youngsters. And if you look at it historically, no language has become more popular because more people gave exams and studied it in their classrooms. Any language has become popular when more people accepted knowledge and entertainment through that language. Clearly, American sitcoms like Friends were more than just introductions to the American culture. You are more likely to have understood the effects of stressing different parts of a sentence through Chandler Bing's sarcasm than through your textbook. Similarly, Indian movies are really popular in some very unexpected and far-off countries. For those citizens, These movies serve as a window to Indian culture. Just like that, whenever it becomes accessible to you, Mandarin language entertainment might serve as your window into the Chinese culture. And really, the question that matters for you is, would you watch an amazing Chinese movie or sitcom? This was the third video in our series of what we can learn about China through its language. It was interesting to note when I began learning the language that the Chinese language Mandarin has been growing very fast. And while we've heard a lot of talk about the political and economic expansion of China, we haven't heard anything about the cultural expansion that is about to happen. So if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something from it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more such videos. I've been your host Srujan, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you.